Okay. All right. We are live and ready to go. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is September the 26th. The time is 11 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. My name is Judge Daniel Nagel. I'm going to go over some preliminary information with you, and then I will meet with each one of you individually and go over some information specific regarding your case. First and foremost, I just want to let everyone know this is an informative hearing and not an evidentiary hearing. What that means is this: I'm going to give you some information, and then you may request some specific information from me. But this is not an opportunity to present any evidence, explain why you believe you were improperly charged, explain any defenses that you may have, do any type of explanation on your case, because it is being broadcast and live streamed. So law enforcement can go back and look at this. So if you start talking about your case and what your defense is going to be, they can look at this and anticipate that. So please do not discuss the facts of your case. It doesn't matter how minor or major you think it is. Save it for you and your attorney, okay? There will be an opportunity for you to have an evidentiary hearing later on down the road. For some of you, it may be your preliminary hearing. For some of you, it may be a motions date or a trial date. But do not discuss the facts of your case. Don't ask me about the facts of your case. The information that I'm going to be giving you is the charges against you. I'm going to let you know whether they're misdemeanors, felonies, or a mixture of both. The bond amount, if you are going to receive a bond, any special conditions of your bond, your next court date, and if you have any questions. Now, for some of you, some or all of your charges may be dismissed. If your case is dismissed or some of your charges are dismissed, it doesn't mean that law enforcement can't come back later on and add those charges back. If I'm dismissing some or all of your charges, it just means that the evidence that I have in front of me was not enough to meet the standard of proof. The standard of proof is just probable cause. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. So even if I do not dismiss your charges, it doesn't mean that I'm finding you guilty. It just means that there was enough evidence for the case to continue on down the road. All right. Now, if you were given a bond, I do not know how much bonding companies are going to charge you. I know there are two ways to make your bond. Number one, you can go through the sheriff's department directly. So for example, if your bond is $1,000, you would need to pay them $1,000, and there may be some fees and surcharges associated with it. Number two, you can go through a bonding company. Typically, and this is not advice, but typically based on my experience as a lawyer for the past decade, bonding companies charge somewhere between 15% and 20%. It could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less, okay? I don't know the requirements that you need to have met if you or a friend or family member want to bond you out. I don't know. I can just tell you that given my experience, whatever your bond amount is, it's going to cost about 15 to 20% to get you out. A lot of times people ask me how quickly the process lasts. As you can see, we have about 25, 30 something people here. So I will work on getting this paperwork filled out and sent over to the sheriff's department as quickly as possible. They will also work very diligently to process everyone's paperwork as quickly as they can. Just be patient, give everyone some time, all right? Everyone's working as hard as they can to make sure that this process is smooth and efficient as possible. Just mind your manners. Don't get involved with any issues with any other inmates or the jail staff, and you will be fine. Everything will run smoothly, okay? If you have special conditions, the most common types of special conditions are as follows. Number one, no contact. No contact is exactly what it sounds like. Do not contact that person. That means via the internet, Kik, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, iMessage, whatever creative way that you think that you can get away with talking to somebody, just don't do it. The reason why I say that is not only will you be in violation of your bond conditions, but that could lead you to more charges. And guess what? If you're in front of a judge for violating another judge's bond conditions, they're probably going to look at you as someone that doesn't listen and follow judge's direction. So you probably won't get a bond by doing that. That also means no physical contact. It means just anytime that person you think of that person, they should equal jail to you. The second most common type is no violent contact. No violent contact means you can have contact with the person, that's fine. Just don't do anything to make them think that there's going to be any level of violence. For example, no screaming, no yelling, no cussing, kicking things, throwing things, punching the air, slamming doors, things of that nature. Just don't do it, because those are indicative of someone being angry to the point where some violence is about to go down. All right. Lastly, is a stay away provision from a certain location. If you have a stay away provision from a certain location, it's just like a no contact with a person. If you go there, you will be found in violation of a bond order and subject yourself to more charges. Just don't go there. If part of your bond conditions is to stay away from a certain residence that you have belongings at, we will talk about that. What I typically do is allow you to go and get your belongings with the sheriff's department. So you can't just show up there with a piece of paper saying the judge said I could come back, here I am. You have to follow the rules and processes of making sure that we keep you safe and we keep everyone else safe. All right. We don't want any more issues between you and anyone else outside of the Clayton County Jail or inside. All right. Lastly, almost lastly, we will go over your next court date. For all of you, it's going to be your preliminary hearing. That is an evidentiary hearing. That is where you can discuss with your lawyer your defenses. They can make those arguments to the state, either the solicitor's office or the district attorney's office. They can use any type of mitigating factors that you want to discuss with them to potentially modify your bond conditions, your bond amount, work out some type of reduced plea negotiation. There's a lot of things that can happen at a preliminary hearing, or you can actually have a hearing where you can make the state present evidence against you, and you can present evidence on behalf of yourself. All right. If you bond out of jail, you do not need to go to your preliminary hearing. So for all of you, if it's misdemeanors, your preliminary hearing date is going to be October the 11th. And if it's felonies, it's October the 10th. So either October the 11th or October the 10th. If you are not incarcerated in the Clayton County Jail, you don't need to show up. Your cases will automatically be sent over to the district attorney's office or to the solicitor general's office. You just need to make sure that if and when you bond out, your information is up to date with the sheriff's office as well as the clerk's office, okay? Because it may be a while before you get another court date. Okay, and so you don't want to miss it. If you end up changing numbers, changing emails, changing addresses, please be sure to let them know. All right, you don't want to get a failure to appear. Lastly, I'll ask, almost lastly again, everyone has had the opportunity to fill out court-appointed counsel forms. If you did not fill it out, I can only assume that you either want to represent yourself or you have an attorney in mind that you want to hire already. That's fine. You can do either of those things. However, if you wish to have a court-appointed counsel, I will go over the application, and if you qualify, I will grant that request. If you didn't fill it out and now you want court-appointed counsel, I'm going to have to ask you some information, again, in front of everyone and live on the internet. It may be personal information, but that was the purpose of giving you the form so you could fill it out without being broadcast over the internet, okay? If you want to have court-appointed counsel, but later on hire an attorney, that's fine. We can appoint one for you, and then you can switch later on down the road. Once we have gone over your option on how you want to proceed with a lawyer, I will ask you if you have any questions. The questions should be limited to, what are the charges against me? What is my bond amount? What are the special conditions of my bond? How you want your lawyer, either you want to hire your own or court appointed, and when is my next court date? Anything beyond those questions is probably not something that you should be asking me at this time. I know that it's very difficult, and every single time somebody comes up and asks me about reducing their bond or talking to me about their case, don't let that be you, okay? I spend a lot of time talking about this because it happens every single time, no matter how much I say it. All right. Now, it's important for you to remember that you still carry all the constitutional rights that you have. You have the right to make the state prove their case. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to not incriminate yourself. So please be wise and take advantage of those rights, okay? Now, before we begin, I'm going to ask that everyone please raise their right hand. All right. And I'm going to ask that you swear or affirm that the statement that you have given and will give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And you can say, I do.
I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. You can put your hand down. We'll start with the female side and then we'll move over to the male side.
Your Honor, I was gonna see if you wanted to do the male side first, since I have the fugitive.
I'm sorry. The male side, I thought
You have the Spanish interpreter on the male side as well. So I know if you want to knock that out.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't see I think we're still working on that, but we can do the male side. That's fine.
Cool.
All right. All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning, Judge. Kamar Askini.
All right. All right. Is it Askernies? Is that how you say that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Askernies, you are charged with one count of public drunkenness. That is a misdemeanor, and I am going to set a bond at $1,000. Okay. It's pretty much the lowest bond I can give, because if we go any lower than that, bonding company won't touch you. So your next court date is going to be on October the 11th. But if you bond out, like I said, you don't need to go to that court date. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. The only special condition I have is just don't violate the law anymore, and just be very careful about what you're doing and where you are. Okay. Do you want to, now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
You could appoint one.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
Can you get a signature bond for this?
Legally, you could get a signature bond. Pragmatically, no, it's going to be $1,000. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. I appreciate you asking, but unfortunately, no. All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Joshua Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, give me just a moment. All right, Mr. Brown. Okay, Mr. Brown. Looks like you were charged with one felony count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, which is a felony. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. All right. One misdemeanor count looks like of a violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That's going to be a bond of $2,000. Two counts of no tail lights. Misdemeanors, the bond is $500 each. Expired tag, $500, and driving without a valid or suspended license. So that's going to be $1,500. So you do have a bond on all of your charges, and I'm going to give you the total amount right now, so it'll be easier for you to remember. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. So make sure I did that correctly. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8. So your total bond is $8,000. The number 8. Okay. All right, that's your total bond. All right. Now, are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
It might take a couple days, but I will be able to make it, so I promise.
I understand. Okay, very good. Well, I hope that you do. Now, the only other special condition that I have is that you not violate the law. So make sure you get your license situation cleaned up. I know that Atlanta doesn't have a great transit system, and I understand that people need to work and do things and shop and things like that. But just make sure you get that cleaned up so you don't keep getting in trouble for that. Because if you keep doing that, that's going to turn into a felony. And that's a 1 to 5 year felony. That's a silly reason to be in the state penal system for driving. Okay. Now, your next court date is October the 10th. But if you bond out, you don't need to go to that court date, okay? Now, you have the opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
At the moment, I would like for you to appoint one. If I'm able to bond out, I will be working on getting my own attorney.
Okay, that's fine. That is not a problem. Just make sure when you, if and when you're able to get that attorney, that they file the appropriate paperwork and let courts know that they're going to represent you, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, Judge.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
That was it. I just want one more time the total amount. You said 8,000, right?
Eight.
Okay.
Ocho. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Take care. Good luck.
How you doing, sir?
Good. What's your name, sir?
BYIRT.
Okay. How do you pronounce your last name?
Big Byron.
Byron. Okay, got it, Mr. Byron. All right, Mr. Byron, you were charged with one count of simple assault. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond in your case of $2,000. Let me see, Mr. Byron. Ah, I see. Mr. Byron, where are you, what address are you living at?
6710 Pleasant Valley Drive, Marvin, Georgia.
Okay, all right. Now, is that your mother's address?
No, that's my uncle's address.
Okay. Does your mother live with you?
No, she stay downstairs.
But is it in the same house?
No, it's under the house.
Do you do you have anywhere else that you can go?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I'll tell you what. While your case is pending, don't have any contact with Brenda Byron. Now I understand that that's your mom. Is that correct?
Yeah, she did all that stuff because she stole the property from me.
No. Don't say nothing, man. I talked over you, so they won't hear it. Okay. Don't tell me anything about it. Okay. Save it between you and the lawyer. All right. I'm trying to help you out. But for now, if your mom is at a certain location, don't be at that location. It doesn't matter if it's upstairs, downstairs, whatever, okay? But if you need to go to that residence on Pleasant Valley Drive in Morrow to get your belongings, I'm going to sign this order that says that you can go there. Just make sure you get the sheriff's office to go with you, okay? Don't show up by yourself. The reason why the sheriff's office needs to go is to protect you from anybody saying that you acted out of pocket, and to protect them in case you do act out of pocket, okay? So just make sure that you go with the sheriff's office and you can go get anything that you need to get. And you can be there so long as your mom's not there. If she's there, you can't be there, okay? Now, once your case is handled or somebody else changes the bond conditions, that's okay, all right? Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 11th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, as you have the right to do, or do you want to appoint one for you?
You can appoint one for me right now, but I have my own soon.
Okay, well, you didn't fill out the form, so I have to fill out some of this stuff for you, okay?
All right.
Is there a reason why you didn't fill it out?
Most likely, I was hoping that you don't throw it out.
I got you. All right, well, yeah, that didn't work. Are you currently employed?
Yeah.
Okay, approximately how much do you make a month? Roundabout.
Grand a month.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yeah, I got kids.
How many?
2.
Okay. How many are younger than 18?
Both of them.
Okay. Are you legally married?
No.
And have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, you did sign it, so that's good. I appreciate that. All right. I'll go ahead and mark you down as court-appointed counsel, but if you change your mind later on down the road, that's fine. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
So out of 2,000, how much I got to pay?
Between 15 and 20%. So somewhere around 350, 400. That's just my guess. It's not a guarantee. Okay.
All right.
All right. Anything else?
That's good. Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Callington Duncan.
Okay, Mr. Duncan. All right, give me just a second, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. All right, Mr. Duncan, you are here on, let's see, one count of misdemeanor theft by taking and one count of misdemeanor battery. I am going to grant a bond in both of those charges, and the bond is going to be, for the battery, it's going to be $4,000, and the theft by taking is going to be $2,000. So your total bond is going to be $6,000. Okay. Now, as part of a special condition of your bond, you're not to have any contact with Nikita Hogan. Are you all married?
No, Your Honor. She's staying at my address, and she has places to go, but I don't.
I see. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Duncan, there's no way for me to verify that. So I'm not going to ban you from the location. Okay. Normally I would say don't go back to the location. So
I'm sorry, plus that, I provide a lot of financial support, so I wouldn't want to see them out either. If
Yeah.
they don't.
I hear you. Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do. Okay. And,
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately I have you here and nobody else. So I have to, just trying to do the job the best I can. Okay. So wherever she is, you don't be. Now, if that's your residence, then you might want to consult some legal advice on how to make sure that she gets out of your place and then you can go back. I'm not saying you can't go back to the residence. I'm just saying you can't go wherever she is. Okay. Now,
the next thing though,
hold on. Don't say anything yet. Don't talk yet, because you're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to talk me out of what I'm going to do. Okay. If you need to get anything from that residence, that's fine. You can take this piece of paper to the sheriff's office. Okay. And they will go with you and get anything that you need from that residence. Okay. So until you can figure out how to legally get her out and get you in, just don't go wherever she is. All right. I'm sympathetic to the fact that you're telling me it's your residence, which is fine, but you have to understand my job is to make sure, keep you safe, keep her safe, keep the citizens of the county safe. Okay. So just make sure that you follow the proper process. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 11th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I would like you to appoint one on my own, but I just want to mention one.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to appoint one for you. Now, what is your question?
No, that's what I'm saying. That we work together, right? Her salary is working with me, so it's a little complicated to. If we're not together, then she don't make a salary, she can't take care of her kids.
Well, sometimes life is complicated. You have to come up with a solution. I can't, I don't know the facts and circumstances of y'all's living arrangement and professional relationship. I just have what's in front of me, and she doesn't have a restriction on her. You just have the restriction on you. So you're going to have to come up and find a creative way to continue to do whatever it is that you need to do, but just don't have any contact with her. Okay.
The thing is, okay, but she's my assistant. I don't know how it's going to.
I can't tell you what to do, man. I'm just telling you, don't violate the bond order. I'm not going to change my mind.
No, I'm not. It's I say it's complicated.
I understand.
And without she work, then she don't have a job. She don't have a earnings.
I get it. I'll leave it up to you to figure out a solution. You seem like a very intelligent person, Mr. Duncan. All right. Do you have any other questions?
Oh, okay. The first charge, theft by taking. What am I accused of taking?
All right, give me just a second. The allegation is that you took her keys to her vehicle.
Oh, then thank God. I purchased that vehicle cash, so I'm not worried about that.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Okay, that's it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
So I can get that dismissed when I present my title, right?
I don't know, man. That's between you and the state.
Okay. All right.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Tolles.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. Give me 1 second, Ms. Tolles. What's your name, sir?
Randy Castillo.
Okay. Ms. Tolles, let me do Mr. Castillo real quick, and then we'll do the Spanish inmate.
Certainly, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Castillo, you were charged with 1 count of possession of a handgun by a person under the age of 18. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond in your case. The bond is going to be $2,000. Now you have a co-defendant in here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Are you? Let's see. It says that you're. I believe if my math is correct, you're 17 years old. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently in school?
Oh, I tried. No,
I got you. Are you currently working full time?
something like that, part-time.
Part time. Okay. Where are you currently working part time?
Suburban with my pops.
Okay. All right. What about what's the last grade that you completed? I think I'm sorry. The connection froze for a second. I'm sorry, Mr. Castillo. What was the last grade that you completed, sir?
I said 9th grade, sir.
9th grade. Okay. I'll tell you what, Mr. Castillo. I'm going to help keep you busy, and the reason why is because I did felony prosecutions for almost 4 years in Clayton County, and the #1 offender that I saw was young Black males between the age of 19 and 27. And you know who the most common repeat offenders were? The same ones. And so I don't think that you enjoy being locked up. Is that correct?
So like, I'm gonna go home.
I imagine that you like being able to do what you want to do, eat what you
Yes,
want to
sir.
eat, talk to whoever you want to talk to, right?
Sir, like
All
that.
right. Yeah, I imagine. I like those things too. So you need to be very careful. I mean, you're almost an adult. You're almost old enough to die for your country. You're almost old enough to vote, and those are very serious things. And if you continue down the path, you won't be able to do any of those, right? So you just got to be patient. If you want to exercise your constitutional rights, that's cool. I'm all for it. You just got to be the right age, okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put as special conditions of your bond is that you remained employed at least part-time. Okay. So you're going to have to show, if anybody asks you for proof. Now, I don't know if they will or not, but the solicitor's office looks at these things. So you need to stay at least employed part-time. And then also I want you to look into either finishing high school or getting some type of a GED or the equivalent. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
that is going to be a condition of you keeping your freedom and eating the food that you want to eat, not the jail food, because I'm sure it's not very tasty.
Yes, sir.
Must be employed part-time or full-time and working towards GED or its equivalent. All right. And also, Mr. Castillo, I'm sure that this will do you a great deal of good when your case comes up later on down the road, if you can show the prosecutors that you've been doing these things. So it's only going to help you. It's not going to hurt you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, your next court date is going to be on the October the 11th. Okay. But if you bond out, you're not going to go to that court date. You don't need to. Just make sure your information is good with the clerk's office. Okay. Now, given that you're 17, Let's see. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I'm trying to hire my own when I make bond.
Okay. All right. That's fine. If you change your mind later on down the road, just when you get to court, just let them know that you'll need to apply for a court-appointed attorney, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, I just wanted to ask, what did you say the bond was again?
I said it is 2,000.
All right, and I had another question. You know how you wrote on that I must have like a GED or like, you know, school, but that helped me get back in like actual school?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't know the reasons why you're not in school. I don't know if it was voluntary or you were told not to, but this is what I can tell you. As someone that's almost 40 years old and grown up in the county, and I've lived here my whole life, you stay busy with school. You know, look, it depends on how desperately you don't want to go back, right? How much hunger do you have in you to not go back? Never in my life would I ever want somebody to tell me what to do, that I can't go outside, that I can't have a burger, a steak, holler at a girl, whatever it is that I want to do, drive a car that I want to drive. So how deep is your passion for doing what you want to do? Right? If you got a deep passion for doing whatever it is that you want to do, you will find a way to figure out how to get a GED. Like the internet is a glorious thing. You can Google search anything. Okay. So I would suggest to you, put the technology that we have available to use and figure it out, man. Like it's hard. Life is sometimes hard, but figure it out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the more you figure it out, the better it is going to be for you later on down the road as it relates to this case and just life in general.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
All right. Good luck to you. Please don't come back.
All right.
All right. All right. Let's get Chavez.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Coles, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Give me just 1 second here. Do we have Chavez and Marquez?
Yes,
Tenemos,
Go ahead, Ms. Coles.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Oh, all right. Let's do Mr. Chavez first. So if you can ask which one of these gentlemen is Mr. Chavez.
Hola, buenos días, señores. Señor Chávez, ¿es usted? Gracias.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chavez, this is an informative hearing where I'm going to let you know the charges against you.
Bueno, señor Chávez, esta es una audiencia informativa donde le voy a informar de las acusaciones en su contra.
You do not need to present any evidence or talk about the facts of your case.
Usted no tiene que presentar ninguna prueba ni hablar de los hechos de su caso.
In fact, you should not say anything about your case.
De hecho, no debería de decir nada sobre su caso.
I'm going to let you know your bond amount.
Le voy a informar de cuánto es la fianza
And any special conditions of your bond.
y también las condiciones especiales que existan con la fianza.
As well as your next court date.
Y también la próxima cita judicial que le toca.
And then I'll ask if you have any questions.
Luego le voy a preguntar si tiene alguna pregunta.
Again, you have the right to not incriminate yourself, so I would advise you to not talk about the facts of your case.
Vuelvo y repito que usted tiene el derecho en contra de la autoincriminación, así que le pido por favor que no hable de su caso.
Okay. I'll ask you lastly if you want to hire your own attorney or if you want me to appoint one for you.
Por último, le voy a preguntar si usted desea contratar a su propio abogado o si prefiere que yo le designe uno para usted.
And you just let me know what you want to do.
Y luego usted me avisa cuál prefiere.
All right. So you are here on a misdemeanor charge of simple battery.
Entonces, usted está aquí presente por un delito menor de violencia simple.
Okay. I am going to give you a bond of $2,500.
Sí, le voy a imponer fianza a $2,500.
Okay. As a special condition of your bond,
Como condición especial de la fianza,
You are not to have any contact with Suri Sadai Lopez.
No puede tener ningún contacto con Siri Sadai López.
Okay. Now, do you live with that person?
Ahora, ¿vive usted, señor, con esa persona?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have another place that you can go and stay?
¿Tiene otro lugar a donde puede ir y quedarse?
Sí, con los amigos.
Yes, with some friends.
Okay. I'm going to put in your bond order that if you want to go and get your belongings, get your stuff from that residence, you can do so.
Voy a disponer en la orden de fianza que si usted quiere pasar ahí para recoger sus pertenencias, sus artículos personales, puede hacerlo.
Okay. Just make sure you go to the sheriff's office and have them go with you.
Solamente asegure que vaya primero a la comisaría del sheriff para que uno de los alguaciles lo acompañe.
Don't show up to the house by yourself.
No se presenta a la casa solito, señor.
Okay. That's to protect you and that's to protect other people.
Es para proteger tanto a usted como a otras personas.
Okay. Your next court date is going to be October the 11th.
Su próxima audiencia está programada para el 11 de octubre.
If you bond out, you do not have to go to that court date.
Si sale en libertad bajo fianza, entonces no tendrá que presentarse a esa audiencia.
But if you're still locked up, that'll be your next court date.
Pero si sigue detenido para entonces, eso será la próxima audiencia que le va a tocar.
Okay. Now, lastly, do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Por último, señor, ¿quiere contratar a su propio abogado o quiere que le designe, que le nombre uno?
Yo ya tengo un abogado. Me llamaron un abogado.
Oh, I already have an attorney. I've called an attorney.
Okay. What's the attorney's name?
Muy bien. ¿Cómo se llama el abogado, señor?
No recuerdo ahorita.
I don't remember right now.
Okay, that's fine. Well, just make sure that your lawyer files the paperwork so that the court knows that they represent you.
No se preocupe, está bien. Solamente asegure que el abogado presente la documentación adecuada al tribunal para hacerse constar como su abogado.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
¿Alguna pregunta, señor?
Entonces, sí.
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
¿Cuál es la pregunta?
Entonces, si tengo fianza, ¿la puedo pagar para poder salir?
So I do have a bond and I can pay it to be able to get out.
That's correct, as long as you do not have anything that would keep you in jail, like charges from another county, or I don't know your immigration status, but as long as you don't have an immigration hold or charges in another county, that is correct.
Sí, señor, es correcto. Contarle que usted no tenga otra cosa que lo mantenga aquí detenido. Por ejemplo, si usted tuviera acusaciones en otro condado o no sé cuál sería su situación migratoria, pero contarle que no tenga una orden de inmigración o si no tiene ninguna acusación de otro condado, puede salir en libertad.
¿Y eso cómo lo puedo saber?
And how do I find that out?
The sheriff's office will let you know.
Los del sheriff se lo van a informar.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
¿Algo más, señor?
Yo puedo llamar para preguntar el nombre de mi abogado y para decir que sí salgo con confianza.
May I call and ask for the name of my attorney and to see if I can go ahead and get out on bond?
You'll need to arrange that with the sheriff's department.
Tendrá que arreglar esa llamada con los de la comisaría del sheriff, señor.
Okay, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, anything else?
¿Algo más?
Nada más.
No more, nothing else.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Muy bien, señor, buena suerte. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Sí,
Digo
señor.
2,500 de fianza.
And you said $2,500, correct?
That's correct.
Así es.
Okay. That's it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Gracias, señor.
Gracias.
All right, Ms. Cole, give me just a second. I've got to go grab a paper. I'll be right back.
Of course. Permítanos un momento, señor.
All right. What is your full name, sir?
Muy bien, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre completo?
Jorge Luis Márquez Cortés.
Jorge Luis Márquez Cortés.
Okay. Mr. Marquez Cortez, you are charged with 5 misdemeanors.
Bueno, señor Márquez Cortés, se le acusa de 5 delitos menores.
Okay. The first one is driving under the influence.
La primera es manejar bajo los efectos de alcohol.
The bond is going to be $2,000.
La fianza para esa infracción es $2,000.
Open container violation.
Una infracción por tenencia de una bebida alcohólica destapada.
The bond is $500.
La fianza para esa infracción es $500.
Okay. Driving without a valid license.
Manejar sin licencia válida.
The bond is $1,500.
La fianza es $1,500.
Driving without insurance.
Manejar sin seguro de auto.
The bond is $1,000.
La fianza es $1,000.
And improper parking on roadway.
Y estacionar inapropiadamente en la vía de tránsito.
Okay, the bond is $500.
La fianza para esa infracción es $500.
So the total bond for all charges
Entonces la fianza total para todas las infracciones
is $5,500.
es $5,500.
All right, your next court date is going to be on October the 11th.
Su próxima audiencia se programa para el 11 de octubre.
But if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date.
Pero si sale en libertad bajo fianza, no tendrá que presentarse a esa audiencia.
Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you.
Ahora bien, señor, usted tiene derecho a contratar a su propio abogado o yo le puedo nombrar uno de oficio para usted.
What would you like to do?
Como prefiere.
Yo consigo uno.
I will get one.
Okay,
Está
that's
bien.
fine.
Muy bien.
All right, so just make sure that the lawyer knows to file the paperwork with the sheriff's department and the courts to make sure that they know that you're represented, okay?
Muy bien, señor. Solamente asegure que su abogado presente la documentación necesaria, tanto para que la comisaría del sheriff y también los tribunales sepan que usted tenga representación legal, ¿ok?
Okay.
Ok.
All right, do you have any questions?
Muy bien, señor. ¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay.
Adelante.
¿Puedo salir por bonds?
Can I get out with a bond?
If you pay that amount, as long as you do not have any pending charges anywhere else and you do not have a immigration hold, then yes.
Si paga esa cantidad, con tal de que usted no tenga acusaciones pendientes en otro lado, ni una orden de inmigración, entonces sí.
Okay. Any other questions?
¿Alguna pregunta más, señor?
Si quiero hacer, nada más que no tengo mi celular, pero quiero hacer una llamada, no sé cómo puedo comunicarme con mi familia.
The thing is, I would like to make a phone call. I don't have my cell phone and I don't know how to go about getting in contact with my family.
Got it. You will just need to let the sheriff's department know, and they're the ones who control the phone calls and visitation and stuff like that.
Entiende. Entonces tiene que avisar a uno de los del sheriff porque ellos son los que están a cargo de las llamadas telefónicas y las visitas y todo eso.
All right, anything else?
¿Algo más, señor?
Quisiera hablar con alguien aquí para no sé si puedan ir a mi casa para decirle a mi familia que estoy aquí, es que nadie sabe, no, que estoy aquí.
I would like to talk to someone here. I don't know if someone can go to my home and let my family know that I'm here because I haven't let them know that I'm here.
I got you. So anything that, as it relates to phone calls and outside of the charges that I just read to you in the bond, you need to talk to the sheriff's department about that. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that.
Entiendo, señor. Pero lamentablemente, todo lo que tiene que ver con llamadas telefónicas o algo de afuera, aparte de la información sobre sus infracciones y la fianza, no le puedo dar más información sobre eso.
All right.
Pero puedo hablar con alguien aquí.
But I can speak with someone here.
Correct.
Correcto.
Ok, quisiera hablar con alguien.
Okay, I would like to speak with someone.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Está bien, señor. Buena suerte.
Igualmente, gracias.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Tolles, I believe that's everyone that we need your assistance for.
All right. Pleasure seeing you, Judge Nagel.
All right. Que tenga un buen día.
Igualmente.
Good morning, my name is Dwight Jackman.
I'm sorry, one more time.
My name is Dwight Jackman. Good morning.
All right. Give me just a second, sir. Oh, you're on my other list. All right. You're over here. All right, sir. Let's see here. Mr. Jackman, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. Let's see here. I understand the other person involved in this is Laisha Turner. Is that correct?
Yes.
Who is that to you?
She's my kid's mother.
Got it. Okay. Well, Mr. Jackman, and you know what? I spelled your name wrong on this. I've read the warrant against you and I'm dismissing the charge. It doesn't mean that the incidents didn't take place. It just means that I didn't find enough evidence to meet the particular elements of what you were charged with, okay? Now, remember what I said earlier, maybe they bring these charges back. I don't know. I don't follow up on these types of things, but the evidence that I presented just wasn't enough for me to keep the charges going against you. So I'll get the dismissal over to the jail and then they'll process it. Just give them some time. They'll work as fast as they can, okay? If you don't have any pending charges anywhere else, you're free to go. But I would just caution you, Mr. Jackman, you know, you are, give me a second here, 8 plus 22, you're 30 years old, okay? So just be very careful of how you act and make sure that you act like an adult because you see what happens when tempers get out of hand, okay?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right. Any questions?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jackman. Good luck to you. Please don't come back.
All right, I definitely won't.
All right.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Okay, I got can we, but then it froze.
So we can.
Can you run that by us one more time? I think that connection over there is not any good.
Can you hear me now, Your Honor?
Yes, I can. Go ahead. Oh. Try it again, sir. We've got some lag. Do y'all know who, which inmate he's over there with?
We're trying to go to the big farm, one of the big farm bits.
Hold on for a second for us, sir. Give us just a second. We're trying to figure this out.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
They trying to do have McFarland do her court with you, right?
Okay. McFarland?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, it's I can make this quick. What's up with Miss McFarland? Miss McFarland, can you hear me? It's lagging. Hey, deputy.
Yes, sir.
Just radio over to him. That warrant's dismissed.
Okay, I'm clear.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, so we're clear.
Let's get her out of here. All right.
Is that the only one that they have over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Where is it? Tail pod. He keeps moving on me. There we go. All right. I think we're good. All right. Let's get that gentleman back.
All right. Night's coming up.
Okay.
Morning, Judge.
All right. Good morning, sir. We're pushing into the afternoon, but I guess it's still morning. Yeah. Give me just a second. All right, we're Mr. Knight, correct?
Yes, sir. Robert Knight.
Okay. All right, Mr. Knight. Let's see here. You were charged with, looks like 3 misdemeanor counts, 1 count of battery, family violence. Mr. Knight, it's a good thing that I'm thorough because I initially had your bond way higher than what it is based on some information that I had, but I couldn't confirm it. So you get the benefit of the doubt. So the bond on that charge is going to be $4,000. Okay. Now the bond on the criminal trespass is going to be $3,000, and the bond on the cruelty to children is going to be $2,000. So the total bond for all charges is going to be $9,000. Okay. Now you're not to have any contact with Jasmine Simpson. Okay. Is that someone that you have? Do y'all have kids together?
Yeah, that's the mother of my child.
Got it. Okay. Are y'all living together? Well, do you have somewhere to go that's not the 2107 Gardenwood Court address?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Do you need to get anything from that address?
No, sir. I got it Friday. I got it.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So just don't go back to that address and don't have any contact with her until your case is resolved. Okay. Or your bond conditions change. So she equals jail. All right.
What about my child? Like,
yeah, you can have contact with your children. I don't.
Yeah.
The allegations aren't that you did something to them. It's just that they were there. So you might need to get creative on how you get your children and things like that, because remember, you're not supposed to have any direct contact with her. Okay. So
like through daycare, right? Like I could see him at daycare, like long as she's not there. Yeah.
Hey man, you don't have any restrictions on you other than no contact with her unless another judge has put other types of restrictions on you. Okay. So whatever you need to do, just, obviously be smart about the situation. If you see her there, don't go there. Okay. All right. Now your next court date is going to be on October the 11th, but if you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date. Okay. You have the opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
You can appoint one.
All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
You said the bond was 9,000, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, that's my only question.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, have a good one.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Hello, sir. What's your name?
Sergeant Marshall.
Okay. Give me just a moment, Mr. Marshall. You were here with Mr. Castillo, correct?
Yes, sir.
Castillo. Got it. Did you hear all the things that I said to him?
Yes, sir.
Got it. So I don't want to beat a dead horse and give you the same lecture because you said that you heard it, but at the same time, I'm going to ask you some similar questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with the exact same thing. You're a little bit younger than him, so you got a little bit more time to wait than he does, but your bond is $2,000. Your court date is on October the 11th. If you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date. Now,
Yes, sir.
are you currently enrolled in school right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what school?
Money's Mill.
That should be high school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you play any sports?
Yes, sir. Play basketball.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase my question. Do you play for the school or do you just play recreationally?
Play for the school.
Got it. Okay, good. Are you, do you have a part-time job?
No, sir. I'm working on getting one right now.
Okay, very good. So as part of your bond conditions, I'm going to put that you must be enrolled at full-time at Mundy's Mill High School.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, just like I told him, I mean, I imagine that you don't like being locked up, correct?
Yes, sir.
Basketball games are a little bit different there than they are outside. No cheerleaders, can't eat what you want, can't go to the gym when you want, can't go to sleep when you want, can't talk to who you want to talk to, no technology, none of that stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I imagine you like doing what you want to do. And so as long as you continue to have that desire to do what you want to do, don't come back here and you'll be all right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You know, stay in school, get graduate, potentially turn that basketball into something, man. Go and enjoy college. You'll have a ton of fun there, and get some life experiences, because being locked up ain't the life experience that you need or that you want. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want to have me appoint one for you?
You appoint one for me for right now?
Sir, if you change your mind, you can go and get an attorney. Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir. You said my bond 2,000, right?
That's right.
All right. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. Please don't come back.
Thank you.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Good morning. My name is Rocky North, sir.
Give me just a second. Okay, Mr. North. All right, Mr. North, you were charged with one count of simple battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond on that is going to be $3,000. Okay.
Sir, I can't afford that.
Okay. Well,
And I got a job, and I was supposed to went to work today, but I got the police officer to call my boss lady and let her know I wasn't gonna be able to make it in today.
I mean, for any act of violence, I mean, 3,000, you know, look, I have to take in consideration the facts and circumstances of the case, you know, what is alleged you've done and things like that. And I do my best to treat everyone as equal as I can. I can't make special circumstances just for one person. I know that your services may, hold on a second, don't interrupt, okay? You don't want to do that. Your particular circumstances may be, it may be bad timing, but you got to understand my position, right? I can't do something for you that I wouldn't do for somebody else. That's not right. What if I treated somebody better than you? Hold on a second. I'm trying to get this. Hold on. Trying to get this to work. Let's talk about some other things, and then I'll let you ask questions if you want to. The next court date is going to be October the 11th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that. You have the right and opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Could you appoint one for me?
Yes, I will do that. I will do that for you.
I need to let you know something, sir. I have a sleeping disorder where I have to sleep on the CPAP machine because at night I stop breathing, and my machine is at home. And my rent lady, she had got rid of the man because he destroyed the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
And she put him out.
Well, I'm not kicking you out of the location. Now, you're not to have any contact with him. At least
he's not there anymore.
I'm sorry?
I said he's not there anymore.
Okay, good. Well, then that means that you don't have any reason to be in contact with him. But I didn't kick you out of the house. You can return back to where you were staying.
Yeah, that's well, we was roommates.
I understand. Remember what I told you about not saying anything about your case, right?
Right.
I'm
just trying to get out because I know I had a rough time in here last night trying to sleep, stop breathing and stuff, and I don't want to collapse.
Well, I don't want you to I don't want anything bad to happen to you either, Mr. North. However, listen, part of the things that I have to consider, it looks like, you've been fairly compliant with law enforcement over the past few years, but that doesn't wipe away everything from your past. And I have to take that into consideration. I mean, for the past, looks like about 10 years, you've been doing pretty good for yourself until this incident. But I just can't ignore the things in the past, and there are some things that concern me. But 3,000 is in line with just about everybody else, man. I don't
have no family. I don't have nobody that bum me out, and I do have a job.
I understand, and unfortunately, you have to understand, man. I'm in a position to where I have to take what the legal considerations into effect. So I'm not going to change the bond. It's going to remain at 3,000. Now, I am going to appoint you an attorney, and if you want to get in contact with them, they can file an emergency motion for bond reconsideration if they want to do that. Or you can file it yourself if you want to, but I'm not going to change it today. Okay. So that's kind of where it is. Now, as it relates to any medical conditions, I would encourage you to speak to the jail staff to make sure that they're aware of that and they can make the proper accommodations for you. I don't think that they would want anything bad to happen to you either, but this is kind of the situation we all find ourselves in, Mr. North. Do you have any other questions? Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Mel Prieston.
Okay. Priester. All right. Very good. Give me just a second. All right, Mr. Priester, you are here on one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass.
Yes, sir.
All right. I remember. It is a misdemeanor, and the bond is going to be set at $3,000. Okay. Now, as part of your bond, do not have any contact with Courtney Henry. Who is that to you? Or Courtney Henry?
Yeah, ex-girlfriend.
Got it. Okay. You're not living in the same residence as her, correct?
I was, but
I see. Does she stay at the Pine Drive address in College Park?
yeah.
Okay. Well, just I'm sure you've heard me say this. Wherever she is, you don't be. Okay. So I put on here, if you need to get any belongings from that address, you're free to do so. Just make sure you go through the sheriff's department and follow the proper procedures. Don't just show up there with a piece of paper saying the judge said I can come back. Okay. Now your next court date is going to be on October the 11th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appoint one for me for the time being.
Okay. All right. I will do that for you, sir. All right. Do you have any questions?
So even if me and Miss Henry had like an understanding, last night over the phone and everything, and it's like the whole situation is basically squashed between us, should I still like stay away from her? Because, we decided to just squash the whole situation.
Yes. Unfortunately, law enforcement hasn't decided to squash the situation. So I hear what you're saying, and I think I know where you're going with this. But once law enforcement and courts get into it, it's not up to you two. It involves other people, right? So as long as this bond order is in effect, it means you don't have any contact with her, because what if she changes her mind, right? If the police are called one time, they'll get called again. So, you're going to do whatever it is that you're going to do, but just understand that if you violate this, it carries certain risk of catching a felony for violation of a bond condition. And you probably won't get a bond on that charge. Okay.
So, and I had just one last question.
Sure.
Like, I'm not really, complaining about the whole bond situation. I know you told me 3,000. That's just what it's gonna have to be. But somebody previously came up here with the same charge. First time offense, misdemeanor of criminal trespassing, and he was able.
And he was what now?
He had the same charge of criminal trespassing, first offender, just like me, but he was able to get off. But my bond is 3,000. I'm saying, I know that's just gonna have to be what it is. I just wanted to know why mine's 3,000, and he was able to get off.
Well, he didn't get off. The officer didn't provide. If you're talking about the one that I dismissed, is because the officer didn't provide enough evidence. In your case, they did. It doesn't mean that you're guilty. It just means that there was enough. So unfortunately, that's the difference.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Antonio Slay.
All right. Let's see. All right, Mr. Slayton. You were charged. You were charged with one felony count of aggravated assault. I will tell you, Mr. Slayton, I struggled with this one. And I'm sure you know better than me, it's a pretty interesting situation. And unfortunately, the standard that I have is not beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. Reasonable doubt, way up here. Probable cause, way down here. Okay. So I did find that there was enough evidence to keep the charge and not dismiss it. And unfortunately for you, I can't grant a bond on an armed robbery charge. And even if I could, I wouldn't. That's not to say, again, that you're guilty or anything like that. It's just that I can't grant a bond on a charge like that. Okay. So your next court date is going to be on October the 10th, where you'll have a preliminary hearing. There, you'll have an opportunity to speak with your lawyer, and they can present some facts to the state and potentially have a hearing on that. And that'll be a better opportunity to kind of flesh those things out for you. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Report on my phone.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Slayton?
No, sir. I mean, yes. The person who accused me of it, they dropped the charges.
Well, just like I told the other guy, right? Just because you and the other person, y'all work it out together, law enforcement's already involved. So that's like somebody else got involved. And because somebody else got involved, it's not that simple. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So again, talk to your lawyer when your preliminary hearing date comes up. Let them know that, okay? And they'll see. I'm sure they'll want to work something out for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Slack. Nathaniel Slack.
All right, Mr. Slack. All right, sir. You are charged with 2 counts, 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of battery, simple battery, in fact. Both of those are misdemeanor charges. The bond for the criminal trespass is going to be $2,000. The bond on the simple battery is going to be $3,000. So the total bond is $5,000. Now you're not to have any contact with James Sanders. Now, are you living at the 5930 address?
Yes, sir. I pay rent there, and
Okay.
yeah, well, my belongings is actually there. Everything.
Okay. I got you. Does the other person, Mr. Sanders, does he live there as well?
Yes, yes, sir. He lives there.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, this is what I'll tell you, and I'm sure you've heard me tell the other people this. Wherever he is, you're not supposed to be. So if he's at a place that you are legally entitled to, you may want to seek legal representation on how to get him out so you can get back in. But as long as he's there, you don't be there. Okay. Now, I am putting in your bond order that you can go there and get your belongings. Okay. So just make sure that you follow the proper protocol and the process to go and get your stuff. All right. We want to make sure that you do it the right way. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 11th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I'm appoint one.
Okay. All right. You didn't. You signed the form, but you didn't fill anything out. So I need to ask you a couple of questions. Okay. Are you currently employed?
I start work today, but I'm not going to be able to make it.
Okay. All right. How much are you making per hour at the new job?
It's $13.50, but if I don't go in, I'm not unemployed again.
I understand. I got you. Are you currently married?
No, sir.
Do you have any children?
Yeah, I do, but not living.
I'm sorry?
Not living.
Okay, got it. All right. Have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. I'll go ahead and appoint an attorney for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
Okay. What's the total again? The whole total of the bond?
5,000.
If I won't be able to make it. The bond.
Well, then your next court date is going to be October the 11th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Good luck to you.
Yeah, you doing?
Good. What's your name, sir?
Empty Stinson.
Okay. Mr. Stinson, you are here on a felony count of terroristic threats. The bond is going to be $6,000. You're not to have any contact with LaDainian White, but I mean, there's no reason for you to have, y'all aren't related to each other, correct? All right, let's see here. How old are you, sir?
17.
Okay. Were you able to hear the discussion I had with the other two guys that were 17?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, not to beat a dead horse, but are you currently enrolled in school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What school?
Clayton High School.
Okay. Do you know if you're going to be able to go back there?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. What grade are you in?
12th.
So you're almost done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you play any sports?
No, no, sir.
Not for the school, but maybe recreationally. Okay. Do you have a part-time or a full-time job?
Yes, sir. I was working at grill diver.
Where's that?
Like how to put it, it's like
Is it a restaurant?
Yes, it's a restaurant.
Okay, what's the name of it again?
Girls Diver.
How many hours a week?
Sometimes it was from when I first started, because I went to school, I was working from 11 o'clock in the morning to 8 or 9 at night.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. I can't order you to go to North Clayton, because if they say, well, you're not allowed back and you're not there, technically you're in violation of the bond order, and that's not your fault. That's just the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that you must be working at least 20 hours a week.
Okay.
And enrolled or seeking enrollment in school for a high school diploma / GED. All right, so let me explain to you exactly what that means so we're very clear. When you bond out, you need to make sure that you're working at least 20 hours a week, and you need to keep proof on you. So documentation is everything, right? Paycheck stubs, calendars, things of that nature. At the same time, maybe North Clayton lets you back in, maybe they don't. If they let you back in, great, just don't go around that other student, okay? If they don't, you need to use your resources, just like I told the other gentleman, to find another school or a GED program or something to make sure that you finish up high school, because you're closer than those other guys were. You're almost there. It would be a shame for you to fall into this pit, because when I was prosecuting felonies several years ago, the most common person that I saw was a black male, 19 to 27 years old. And guess who I saw come back? 19, 27. So as soon as they started, they couldn't stop. And it's not a place for you to be if you enjoy your freedom. So make sure that you have documentation on you that you're doing these things, because I guarantee you, if you're doing these things, it'll be much harder for you to fall into the trap. Okay. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. Which one do you want?
You appoint one for me.
Okay. I will do that. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your question?
This is a first offense. Would I be able to get a signature bond?
Legally, you could get a signature bond, but pragmatically and in reality, I'm not going to issue one. Just because I don't think that I think there comes some responsibility with having a bond to make it. It keeps you invested versus just getting out. I feel like people who just get out, they don't take it seriously enough. So I want you to be invested in making sure that you don't come back. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, sir. That's all.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. Please don't come back.
Yes, sir. Have a nice day.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Deontay Wilson.
All right, Mr. Wilson. 1 second.
Yes,
All right, Mr. Wilson. You are charged with, these are just traffic offenses, both misdemeanors. License charge is $1,500, expire tag or valid tag is $500, total bond is $2,000, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Next court date is on October the 11th. If you bond out, you don't need to go to that court date. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one?
Appoint one.
Okay. All right. Mr. Wilson, just make sure you get your license situation taken care of, because if you keep getting license charges crazily enough, it'll turn into a felony. And so you don't want to go to the state penitentiary for merely driving to work or driving to groceries. Like, that's not a good reason to get state time. I mean, nothing is, but especially not for that. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, that being said, this suspended license is not suspended. It's actually has.
Hold on. Don't say whatever it is you're about to say. Okay. Save your, because that's what I'm going to call a defense. Keep your defense between you, God, and your attorney. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. There you go. All right. Anything else?
Would I be able to use my signature bond if possible?
Just like I told the last gentleman, legally, signature bonds exist, but in practice and in Clayton County, in my courtroom, it does not exist. And I've never seen a case that I would be willing to do a signature bond. Just like I told the other guy, I want to make sure that you take it seriously. So, you know, $2,000 is about as low as it can go without, if it goes any lower than that, the bonding companies won't even let you bond out because there's no money for them to make. Okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi, Judge. Do you have the sign language interpreter?
I don't know what happened. I literally copied them on the email. And I know that this gentleman's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Know what to do.
I did reach out, and she was trying to get she reached out to the agency to try to get them on, but I guess it had to be officially scheduled. I'm not sure. I can follow up one more time really quickly just to see, but we may have to continue it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll call her now. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all the males over here, Judge.
Okay. Let's go to the female side real quick while Ms. Wilkerson checks on that.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Your Honor, you ready for the females?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Coleman is up.
All right. All right. Are you Ms. Coleman?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Coleman, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass. Let's see. I'm going to grant a bond of $1,500. You're not to have any contact with LaRon or Laren Eskew. Let's see here. Your next court date is going to be on October the 11th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
I'll get my own attorney.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Now, do you have any questions about your case? Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Tiffany Jackson.
Okay. Give me just a second. All right, Ms. Jackson, you are charged with one count of terroristic threats, which is a misdemeanor. The other person involved, who is Lisa Whitsett? Who is that to you?
My mother.
Got it. Okay. Let's see, 40 minus 3, that's 37. Okay. Ms. Jackson, you're way too old to be coming in here for some silliness like this.
I know, Your Honor.
I know. All right. Well, I'm glad that you know, because you see what happens when tempers flare up. Just words alone can get you in trouble. It doesn't mean you even have to do anything. Just getting angry. You have to find a more productive way of dealing with that. Now, with that being said, I am dismissing the charge against you. The reason why I'm dismissing it is because there's no evidence that anyone heard it. For this particular charge, there has to be a witness, and the officer didn't provide it. So doesn't mean that they can't come back later and reapply for a warrant and provide a witness name or something like that. But I've got to do my job, and they didn't provide me that evidence. So I'm dismissing it against you. So as long as you don't have any other pending charges or anything that would keep you here, just be on your best behavior and let the jail staff process your paperwork when it gets over there. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Please don't get angry like that anymore. Find a more productive way.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Good luck. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Algina Muhammad.
Okay. Ms. Muhammad, you are here on one felony count of cruelty to children in the first degree. I struggled with this one because I've never seen a situation like this before. I've looked at the information that I have, and I've looked at your criminal history, and you're a lot of things, but this doesn't really fit your nature, Ms. Muhammad.
Yes, I'm a good mother. I'm just trying to discipline my child.
I understand. And just like I told the young lady before you, she had an incident with her mother. You have an incident with your child. It's kind of flipped. My children are 9 and 5 years old, so they're not at the attitude where they're really talking back yet, just a little bit. So I understand what you're going through. I am dismissing the case because I just don't think that it rises to the level of arrest and meeting the statute. It may be a poor decision. You may have gotten a little bit out of hand. I think that's extreme to an extent.
Yeah, I feel that.
But
I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah, listen, my parents have done some crazy things to me, and I turned out okay. So I get it. It's difficult, but I would encourage you to find a little bit more healthy way or more creative way to handle it. You know what I mean? Because doing things like that, it could damage your relationship with your child. It could damage your child mentally and things like that. And you don't want your children to be, to be jerks. Okay. So I understand you're trying, and I appreciate your honesty, but they could bring the charges back. I don't know if they will or not. But I just don't think it rises to that level of you being incarcerated for it. So I'm dismissing it. So just mind your P's and Q's. Don't get involved with any other inmates in the jail staff, and they'll process you out as quickly as they can. Just give us some time, okay?
Thank you. God bless.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Please do not come back, Miss Muhammad.
No, you won't see me.
All right. I hope not. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Amaya Pilgrim.
Oh, Miss Pilgrim. All right, you are charged with one count of criminal damage in the second degree. Looks like, I don't know who the victim is. So I'm dismissing the case. I don't know who it is you allegedly wronged. Maybe you do, don't say it. Because that could change things. But, again, just like I told the other two young ladies, they could bring the charges back because all they did was fail to mention a name, and I would have kept the charges, but they didn't. So I'm dismissing it. So if you don't have any pending charges anywhere, you just mind to yourself and don't get in any more trouble, and they'll process you out as quickly as they can. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you. Please don't come back. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Makisha Hall.
All right, Miss Hall. Well, that ended the I forgot to do this. 1 second. All right. Ms. Hall, you were charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. That is a felony charge. Your next court date is going to be on October the 10th, 2022. Who is Mr. John Brooks to you?
He was a friend of mine.
I see. All right. I am going to grant a bond on this charge.
Thank you.
I was debating on whether I was going to grant one or not, but I am going to grant one. The bond is going to be $50,000. Okay. Now, if you bond out, you're not to have any contact with John Brooks. Okay. As I said, your next court date is going to be on October the 10th. If you are still incarcerated on that day, you'll have your preliminary hearing where they can discuss the evidence in your case and potential bond reductions and things like that. Okay. Now you have an opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do? Okay. Did you fill out a form today for a court-appointed attorney?
It wasn't today. I think it was like 2 days ago.
Okay.
I can't hear.
Give me just a second, Ms. Hall. Actually, Ms. Wilkerson, do you have the ability to print out Ms. Hall's court-appointed application? And I'll go ahead and just appoint one for her.
Yes, I'll send it to you in just a second.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Ms. Hall, we'll go ahead and if you'll agree that I can go ahead and appoint one for you, I'll just put on your signature line. Well, let me ask you this: are you currently employed?
I sure am.
Okay, about approximately how much do you make a month?
Probably 2,600.
Okay, do you have any rent or mortgage payments?
I do not.
Do you have any children?
I do.
How many?
2.
How many are under the age of 18?
2.
Okay. Do you are you legally married?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And have you ever served in the military?
No.
Okay. All right. That's good enough. So we'll get that taken care of for you, Ms. Hall. All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Were we able to locate a sign language interpreter for Mr. Jones, or we got to continue until tomorrow?
It looks like we're gonna have to continue it because they're not here.
I'm clearing.
She reached back out. They weren't able to contact her, so we will have to continue it.
Okay.
I'm clearing. Thank you so much.
All right. All right, so we'll just wait on the court application. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Nikita Thomas.
Okay. All right, Miss Thomas. Let's see here. You were charged with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counts of criminal trespass, 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of interference on government property. That they are a mix of felonies. The interference with government property is a felony, and the criminal damage in the 2nd degree
I
is.
can't hear. Sorry, I couldn't hear. I have that. I have that.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
All right.
Excuse me. Let me turn up the volume.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right.
I can barely hear. You have to look at me.
I got you. So you have a mixture of misdemeanors and felonies, okay? I am going to grant a bond on all the charges. It's $3,000 for each charge, okay? So that's
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So your total bond is $24,000, okay?
Okay.
Now, part of the conditions of your bond is that you not go back to 233 Medical Center Drive in Riverdale. That's probably the Southern Regional parking lot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I won't go back.
Okay, good. And then also do not have any contact with the people that are listed: Rovina Billingsley, Hartley Ugaoga, and Atenule Adekola. I'm assuming that you don't know who those people are.
No, I don't.
I got you.
I'm
Okay.
homeless right now. I don't have nowhere to stay. And I try to get into the shelter here. But every time I do, people tell me lies like, we'll take you here, there. I trusted people and they took advantage of me.
I got you. Okay, well,
Because I'm not from that area. I live in Noonan, Georgia.
I got you. Okay. Now, you have the opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Attorney Baylor Scott.
I'm sorry?
Baylor Scott. They did my injury case because I got hurt at work at American Best at a medical. I was a receptionist. A patient got mad because I told her she had to wear a mask.
Okay,
and she pushed the plexiglass on me.
Okay.
And I got 2 contusions on the back of my head and a stroke.
Okay,
I had
well,
2 small strokes and I can't work right now.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. They're representing you for your injury case, but what about the criminal case? Do you want me to appoint a lawyer for you, or do you want to hire your own?
If that's possible, if you can appoint me a criminal.
Okay, I will do that. All right, do you have any other questions?
When do I have to appear?
On October the 10th.
October 10th.
That's
Can
right.
I didn't put my address down, but I live at 840 Rolling Hills Lane, Noonan, Georgia, 30263.
You said Roman Hills Lane?
Rolling Hills Lane, Noonan, Georgia, 30263. And I'll be staying there until I move, find somewhere else to stay.
Okay, all right. Well, I've got it down for you, Miss Thomas.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Teresa Willis.
Okay, Miss Willis, give me just 1 second. I need to print something off really quick. All right, thank you, Miss Wilkerson. I got that email. All right, Ms. Willis, give me one moment. I'm pulling up my script because I don't do these too terribly often. Make sure I get it done correctly. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, good afternoon, ma'am. I am Judge Daniel Nagel. This hearing is what is called an extradition hearing. All of the rights that I advised everyone of early also apply in your case, but your hearing is a little bit different from the other first appearance hearings that have just taken place, okay? You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and they are requesting that you return to that state to answer these charges. Now, are you in fact Miss Teresa Willis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you already have an attorney representing you in the Florida case?
No, sir. This was back in 2016.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm going to read to you what you're being charged. It says here that you are charged with being a fugitive from justice as follows: that you entered and remained in the state of Georgia knowing that you were wanted by Opelika Police Department for shoplifting, warrant number 1601444, a felony. And it says that they will extradite. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to OCGA Title 17, Chapter 13. As you have heard, it is alleged that you are charged with shoplifting in the state of Florida. You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition or to waive extradition and be returned to the other state without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to do so. As you are wanted by another jurisdiction, I am not going to set a bond in your case at this time. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to the state of Florida, you may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest 4 things. Number 1, whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. Number 2, whether you were charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state of Florida. Number 3, whether you are the person named in the request for extradition. And number 4, whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of guilt or innocence in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in the contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, meaning Florida, if they're not able to get you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days, awaiting your extradition. If the extradition is not completed in 90 days, then you will be released. Now, were you presented with some papers review on whether you wanted to sign waive extradition or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you wish to waive extradition or do you wish to contest it?
I wish to sign it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So what will happen is, like I said a moment ago, the state of Florida will have 30 days to come and get you. If they don't get you within 30 days, I'm sorry.
You said Florida?
It's Alabama. Cities are confusing. I know. It's Opelika, Alabama, not Opelika, Florida.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I have not heard of Opelika. I just assumed it was Florida. I'm sorry, Ms. Willis. Wrong state. Yeah. Wrong state. You're going west, not south. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, I apologize about that. All right. So all right. So basically, Alabama will have 30 days to come and get you. If they don't, Clayton County could, it doesn't mean that they will, but they could keep you for 60 days for a total of 90. If Alabama hasn't gotten you within 90 days, from my understanding, you'll be set free. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Deputy, do y'all have her signed paperwork?
She has signed the paperwork on camera right now.
Okay, perfect. And Ms. Willis, what I'll do is I'll sign that paperwork and I'll turn it in and they'll get you processed. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. You're welcome, Ms. Willis.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Ms. Willis does complete the females for the first appearance council today. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. And I'll work with Miss Wilkerson to get that sign language interpreter hemmed up for tomorrow for you all.
I appreciate it. He's been continued for quite a while now. He was on my calendar for last week. He's been continued.
Yeah, I know. I had him on yesterday, but he refused to get up and come. And then the interpreter wasn't on there anyway. So
thank you.
All right.
I'm clear on it. I appreciate you, Your Honor.
Okay. Y'all have a good day. All right.